Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this one what we're going to see is how we can integrate the variables from a Modicon M262 to AVEVA InTouch. So let's go to the presentation. So there are different ways to communicate and share the values from the PLC to the AVEVA InTouch application. In this particular video, what I'm going to show you is how we can use the OPC UA. So one of the main reasons is because the OPC UA is the easier one that we have on the drivers. It is for the AVEVA InTouch. So there are a few things that I'm going to try to do in this video. So I have this PLC with this IP address already connected, already configured for sharing variables from the OPC UA. I have a switch in the middle, and then I have my PC. Okay, so what we need is the operation control management console, which is the one that has all the drivers that we're going to use, and it will act as a server in order to read all the information from the controller. And then in these three apps, we should be able to do the things that we need. So there we go. Next one. So I have already created two videos how to use the OPC UA in the Modicon M262. Okay, they are already available and easy to share. You can find it on the network, but the main thing is to program the M262, and then you have the possibility to use credentials or without credentials, but it's up to you how you want to share the data. The first thing that we need is to open the OCMC, or the Operation Control Management Console, which is the one that we configure the driver that we kind of have. So by default, we have the OPC UA here and the OPC, and I believe there is another one. But what we need to do, you can delete the default one, the OPC UA, and with the defining group, you can delete it, or you can start from scratch or rename it. Okay, so let's open that. So let's open the Operations Control Management Console. I believe it's near the screen. No, here. So once we open this, here we should be able to find all the different drivers that we have. Okay, if you don't have some of these, it's because you didn't install it on installation of the AVEVA package. So the gateway is the one for the OPC UA. So in the configuration, I have this one because I have deleted the other one. Okay, so here we just need to add the connection. So in my case, it's going to be OPC UA. Here I need to define the name of the controller. For example, it's going to be my M262. And then we just need to add a group connection. And here what I'm going to do is to use my GBLs, because I will share the GBLs information I have in just one place. Okay, so this is the first thing that we need to do. Define the device and then the groups that we're going to use. And then we just need to configure each of them. So if we continue with the presentation, this part's done. So let's follow the videos, then you'll be able to do this. But basically, on the M262, when you are in device 3, double click. You just need to go to OPC UA server. Here, just have the possibility to define, enable the OPC server on the M262. Then disable or enable the securities, whatever you want to use. Define the port, and then on the tools tree, you just need to add the symbol configuration, and the symbol configuration just select the variables that you want to share. Simple as that. So right now I'm connected with the controller and sharing these three variables, and the idea is to run this code. So every second it's a timer that's going to, it's a blink that will count a variable +1 +1. Nothing important. So this part is already done, or from my side it's done. Then rename the OPC UA the default or create a new one. Add a group, it's already done, to finish, and change the group for my GBLs. So the look, once you finish this is what it looks like. Okay, then we just need to configure this. So I already defined like the device information too. So here we just need to point the URL. So here we just need to take into account the start, how is the syntax, then the IP address and the port to be used, as it shows here. Okay, so it's opc.tcp : // the IP address and the port. So if we follow this up, so it's gonna be OPC TCP / 192.168.1.62 : 4840. Okay, this one the server knows the local host is my PC. It can also be changed if you have already configured it. Then here we have possibility to test the connection. Okay, but first we need to validate this. So in my case, I'm not using security with this part, but I'm using credential. I'm not using anonymous. So here is going to be the credential for the PLC. In my case is administrator, and then administrator1 asterisk, which is the default that you use for testing the PLCs. Now that this is done, okay, and it matches the configuration that we have on the PLC side, okay, the port is there below. I already showed you in the program, 4840. Then what we need to do is just check the connection. It's connecting, and it will add this part, OPC UA. Okay, done. So it means that we have the connection with the controller, which is good. Now we just need to go to the connection group. Okay, saving this. Here in the group, okay, on the parameters, this is the interval that we can change. Leave it at default. Here we just need to go to browse OPC UA server. Then a pop-up should pop up in the screen. There we go. And here we should be able to access to the variables that we have already selected on the PLC. So here, application, GBL, and I have these three that I have already selected on the controller. So I'm going to add list. Okay. And now in device items, I have all this. Now, maybe a good thing is to change this to something more common to be used then in InTouch. So M262, M262 underscore iCounter, Ctrl C. I'm just going to change that for all of them. And this is the name that we need to use then later on the InTouch. By the way, I'm not an expert on InTouch yet, so you can probably find a better way to introduce this into the InTouch application. So now that I have created this new variable's name, just rename the one so I don't need to use that alias name that came by default. So now go here and save this configuration. Now if we go back to the presentation, this is done. Add the list, browse, okay, fine. And this is an example I've been doing. So configure the connection. We have already done this. So remember to use opc.tcp : // here the IP address, again, and then the port that you have already defined in PLC. This part is done. Show you how you can browse the variables, select the required variables, and then change it. This part is done. Now, we need to activate the gateway of this driver to work. By default, we have this cross, okay? I believe you already noticed this. So now we need to enable it, so we are able to exchange information, otherwise nothing. So here you can see there is a cross. Right click, and then I'm going to use this one, it doesn't matter. Any of those to activate the gateway, and then everything is fine. There we go, it's working. Then you should be able to have the diagnostics. So here there is nothing because it's not used on the other side. Then we should be able to see the variables. But this part is already done, so the gateway is working or is already configured, and we should be able to, we have already seen the variables coming from the PLC. So that part is done. So good. Enable the driver. We have already done this. So now we just need to open the InTouch. Okay, so I'm going to open the application manager. Run as an administrator, so I'm able to create projects. It's opening the other window. Okay, so this I'm going to create a new one. Standalone. Next. Yes, it doesn't matter. So now I'm going to open this in the window maker. Just probably open in the other window. Wait with me. Now the idea is to add the link between the server that we have with the application in InTouch. Just wait for it to open. There we go. So I'm going to create a new native window. So I have all this going around. Now, we just need to define here the access name. Here, this is what became by default. No, because I'm not going to use it. No. So now I'm going to create a new one. And here we need to pay attention on the things that we need to select and how we need to access it. So this one, the access is going to be the name of the controller or the driver that we have assigned the name. This is going to be localhost. This one is going to be the, I just forgot. So let's go here to the presentation, the driver name. So this is the connection or the one that have already defined the connection. It's going to be my M262. This is the local host that we already seen before. The gateway is the application name is the gateway that we're using. Okay, if you're using, for example, Models TCP, you just need to use MBTCP. But in this case, I'm using the gateway, which is going to be for the OPC UA. And then on the topic, we just need to add the connection underscore the group that I have already defined. Okay, so we open this again. It's going to be my M262 localhost. Application name is going to be gateway because it's a driver, and here topic is going to be my M262 M262 underscore my GBLs. Let me see if I add it in capital. My GBLs, yes. So this part, I don't touch it. Just leave it as it. There is no secondary source, so everything's fine. Add, close. That part is fine. So now we need to integrate the tags into our application. So here in tag name, we will open the tag name dictionary. Here we can create a new variable. So I'm going to select M262 underscore I counter, which is the one I have already created. The type is going to be the IO integer. We need to use everything that is IO. And here, as access name is going to be my access name that I have already defined, the PLC, and my M262. And here we had the possibility to tag as item name. So instead of adding the same name or different one, we use this and it will directly link it. Then save, new I'm going to select another one, M262 X enable. This one is going to be discrete IO. Access is going to be, oops, the other side. My M262, close, use the same, save, new, M262, reset. Just a counter have the reset, IO discrete, my M262 the same, save. And here in select, I should be able to see the three of them. And it's fine. So now it's time to use it. Let's go back to the presentation. Just don't want to miss anything at all. Okay, this is what I meant. Too many things, but it's much better to show you all done. So use the tag name and create an application. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now. So button, oops, just bear with me. So I'm going to use string. I see the other window. Okay, counter. I cannot move it around. Sorry for that, but it will show counter. And here I will try to use the animation links. It's in the other window. Okay, you should know how to do this. I just want to display the analog value. And it's going to be M262 underscore I counter. I cannot move to the other side, my bad. Counter, okay. And then I'm going to use another button just to enable this. String, enable. And then you're going to add the, sorry, you are not seeing it. Just going to pause it and create the application. Okay, so now I believe I finished the application. So this will show the counter here. This one is to enable disable. I'm going to run this and see what happens. Should probably save it. So just wait for it. Okay. So as you can see, I have the connection is 0, which is fine. And then I should be able to change this up. But before doing that, here in the device group, now you should be able to see that I have this topic and I have all this information. Okay. Because I believe I changed it when I was doing the application. Just bear with me. Tag dictionary. Yep. My bad. Okay, so let's close this now and launch it again. It's my mistake. Was copy and pasting and just change the name. Okay, so open it now. You can see I have all these three variables. And then if I select this one on, it just start counting. Okay, it has a refresh rate different. Off. Toggle. Okay, now I'm going to reset it. Okay, there we go. And then just make it count again. As you can see, it's very easy, and you have the default, the diagnostic over there in case there is something that is missing. So if we go back to the presentation, just want to miss anything. We already test this. And this is what I want to show you. The value is the same one as the other one in the PLC. So if we open this here, I should be able to see that too. GBL. So if I go back here to the demo on, just refresh there, you can see and read the same information. That is working fine. So this part, try diagnostics. Good. So this is how you can communicate the M262 via OPC UA to the AVEVA InTouch sharing variables. So as you can see, it's very easy in order to share the variables, and then it's very straightforward. Okay. We will make another videos for the M580 and for the M241, M251, and the different drivers and the different ways that we have to communicate with the InTouch. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.